Hi, I'm Mark Iriks, Executive Director of the Future Institute of Australia. Today, I'm talking about change management. Change can and does come from anywhere. It can be new innovations and technologies, a change in rules for your industry, the death of a key business partner, or even a fire or flood. Change itself, whilst inevitable, is not the problem. Not being ready for change is also not the problem. It is the mismanagement of change that causes many businesses to fall over. Change is inevitable and often essential for growth. Some changes will improve your business and others will have the capacity to destroy or completely change it. I define change management as the process of transitioning individuals and teams to a desired outcome. You can manage change as a leader or as a boss. A leader communicates and inspires, whilst a boss instructs and imposes. My experience has taught me one very important lesson. Change is much less scary to the driver. So as the driver, you must be very considerate to the passengers. Effective change management is all about the people, those people who are affected by the change. Regardless of the scale of the change, your staff, by virtue of their nature, will react in different ways. Some staff may be scared, some may be non-reactive and hard to pick, and some may just be excited. On January the 16th, 2013, my core asset, Easy Fleet Management, was dealt a massive change. Prime Minister Rudd announced that effective midnight the night before, the product which generates the vast majority of my company's income was cancelled. And that when he won the election, it would be legislated out. My initial reaction was like all normal business people. I called an urgent meeting of all my business partners and my senior staff, and collectively we panicked. The only way to avoid a massive scale down of my business and avoid retrenching all my staff was to make sure that Rudd didn't win the election. Obviously, I had very little control over that, so I needed to focus on what I could actually do. What income streams would be left over? How many staff do I need to keep the scaled down business functioning? How and who do I downsize? What the hell do I do if I downsize, pay out $200,000 in redundancy, and Rudd loses the election? How do I keep everyone on? I don't even have an election date. It was a gut-wrenching predicament, and I didn't have the answers. As worried as I am, how do you think my staff felt? They watched the same news I watched. It was a tense time for all of us. Not many SMEs could survive this, and many in our sector didn't. So what did we do, and what have I learned from it? We got the staff together and told them exactly what the problem was and what would happen if we did nothing about it. We were open about how bad things were and how much worse it was going to get. We also talked about the consequences of doing nothing. We then looked at our options, including inviting the staff to come up with ideas before we started cost cutting. We met with each staff member and explained to them personally where they stood if they decided to accept redundancy. Fortunately, only 2 staff took redundancy. Both were looking for a change anyway. Our breakthrough moment happened when a staff member volunteered to go on leave to the extent of their entitlement, and then on unpaid leave on the condition that they could return to their job if the decision was overturned. That saving move came from a staff member who just wanted to stay but understood our problem. Most staff went on leave and our skeleton staff kept the business going. Fortunately for us, Rudd lost the election, and after things got back to normal, we started business and added other income streams to the business, including, of course, shares in the Future Institute of Australia. Today, we are a far different business, and we would be far less affected by a similar event. So what did I learn about change management? Understand the change and be totally open with your staff about it. Let your staff know that you will keep them informed. Invite your staff to discuss openly any concerns or ideas that they might have. Make sure you define the problem as it is. Don't make it bigger or smaller than it actually is. Remember that regardless of your approach, some of your staff will be scared, some will appear not fussed, and others may be excited. If, however, they can see that you are not being open, most of your staff will lose trust and assume that you'll be plotting to save yourself and toss them out with the bathwater. Most importantly, whatever the fate of each and every staff member, lead them there with openness, honesty, and dignity. Thank you for taking the time to listen today. If you've gone through either a good or terrible experience that you'd like to share with us, please share it on info@futureinstitute.com.au, and thank you very much for your time.